It's an Ocean League matchup between the Hawthorne Cougars and the El Segundo Eagles. Hello everyone and welcome inside Hazeltine Field. I'm Miguel DeLeo and we got a great game once again in store for you. It's the El Segundo Eagles hosting the Cougars, an old rival from not too far from here. And the Eagles come in with a 2-game winning streak and a terrific performance by Armand Saison the last 2 weeks. He looked to continue that momentum here against this old rival in the Hawthorne Cougars. Should be a great game. It's the Cougars and the Eagles next on El Segundo TV. Here come the Eagles led by Luis Beas. Welcome everyone inside Hazeltine Field. I'm Miguel DeLeo and it's the start of league play. It's an Ocean League matchup between the El Segundo Eagles and the Hawthorne Cougars. The Eagles have a 2-3 record. The Cougars coming to tonight's game with a 3-2 record. Despite the close records, this should be a good game, a competitive game every time these two schools meet. It's always a contest. Last year, the Cougars beat the Eagles 41-28. The game was played at Hawthorne. Armand Saison had 2 touchdowns in that loss. And speaking of Saison, he's had a terrific season so far, and he will try to continue that momentum here tonight against the Hawthorne Cougars. El Segundo will receive the captains for tonight's game. For the Eagles, Gerard Blanco, David Madrid, James Freilich, and Nick Villa. And for the Cougars, the captains, Jonathan Alvarado, the quarterback Tyree Davis, Trevon Sibley, and Devont Houston. And we are underway, Eagles and Cougars from Hazeltine Field. Freilich gets in front of it, and here he comes, stiff arms one defender, but goes down immediately. And that's where El Segundo will have their first offensive drive from. The Eagles are led by sophomore quarterback Connor Huckberg. Huckberg's 29 for 35 on the season, 337 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He had a rushing touchdown last week in that win against South Torrance. First and 10 for Huckberg from their own 26-yard line. Four-3 defense by the Cougars, and a whistle and a flag right away. This goes against El Segundo, so that sets them 5 yards back. The Cougars also coming off of a win last week. They beat Glenn High School 24-16. First and 15, handoff. That's Armand Saison getting in the action early. Saison has 74 carries, 439 yards with 3 rushing touchdowns on the season. He also has 17 receptions for 139 yards. He's the most targeted player on the Eagles offense. Their second most targeted player, James Pearson, who had 12 receptions, 144 yards on the season. He is out for the year as Hochberg goes down. Taken down by Joseph Eby. So we'll see how the loss of James Pearson, he has a collarbone injury, Coach Shevlin told me prior to the game, as a flag came in there. And Pearson will be out for the rest of the season. Luis Beas will take his spot at receiver. Another penalty on the Eagles early on. Not a good way to start your first drive. 2 penalties already. Less than a minute of football here in this one. Here we go, Hochberg out of the shotgun. 2nd and 20, mishandles the ball and goes down, fumbles it. Armand Saison's there. It looks like they blow it dead when Hochberg went down. And that's where they will spot it. Still a loss on the play. And this drive goes from bad to worse. 3rd and very long for the young sophomore quarterback.
The 3rd down and 28 from the Eagles 7-yard line.
Four receivers set for Hochberg. Out of the shotgun. 3rd and 28 officially. And whistles all over this one. Blows the play dead. That's encroachment on the defense. El Segundo gets some of those yards back right there. It'll still be a 3rd and very long. Third and 23, they mark it at the El Segundo 12-yard line. Freilich checks into the game for the first time tonight. We try it again. Hochberg again out of the shotgun. 4 receivers set, 2 on each side. Better snap this time. Hochberg dodges. Here's a big throw. A little overthrown, intended for Matthew Kusro. That's going to bring up 4th down for El Segundo.
Ball's incomplete. The 4th and a whole bunch.
Not a good first drive if you're the El Segundo Eagles. Good job by this Cougars defense so far, but it was the penalties that was the story of that drive. 2 big ones for the Eagles. 9:42 here in the first quarter, still scoreless. Armand Saison back to punt for El Segundo. Devon Houston back to receive for the Cougars. Houston lets it roll. And the Eagles down it just at about the 45. Nice punt by Armand Saison, and he's been asked to be all over this football field on offense, defense, and special teams. Mostly offense and special teams. And he's having one heck of a season, but he will need some help tonight. Here come the Cougars, led by senior quarterback Tyree Davis, 6'4", 210. Davis starting out of the shotgun. 4 receivers set as well for him. 2 on each side with the back behind him. He will hand it off, and immediately the run is read, and it's taken down. Jonathan Smith goes nowhere. Lead tackler by the Eagles, Justin Gill. Second and 10 coming up for Davis. Cougars coached by Derwin Henderson in his 4th season with the Hawthorne Cougars. Man in motion for Davis. He drops back, pressure, and he goes down. Jose Hurtado takes him down. And a big defensive play early on by El Segundo. Coach Wagner, first-year defensive coordinator for El Segundo, happy about that one. And this Wagner defense is aggressive. They're in your face, and they're not hard. They're not hard to find. They will come at you, and they will blitz. Davis got the play he likes. Hawthorne going old school with the pictures on the sidelines. That's going to be, looks like a delay of game on the Cougars. Looked like Davis took a bit too long there to get the right play going, but as you can see at the top of your screen there, they have those big poster boards with different images that usually those stand for different plays and different positions. Usually don't see that too much nowadays with all the electronics, the ways that the coaches can communicate. Here's Davis, incomplete. There is a flag. The intended receiver, or the closest receiver, is number 11, Kendall Burrell Jr., a sophomore, 6'1", 175. Holding call on El Segundo. On 3rd and 18, this will help out the Hawthorne Cougars. So a much more manageable 3rd down coming up for the Cougars, 3rd and 8 from their own 47-yard line. Davis again out of the shotgun. 4 receiver set. Quick throw off the hands of the receiver, intercepted by the Eagles. Kyle Myers with the INT. As they say, the ball don't lie, and it didn't there. Kyle Myers coming up with a nice takeaway. That ball was intended for Kendall Burrell Jr. He could not hang on, bounced off his hands and into hands of number 7. Some life now for the Eagles. And another positive here as they will get another encroachment call on the Cougars. Dershawn Charles, number 77, jumped early. First and 5. Here's Armand Saison, and he is wrapped up quickly. Antrero Fuller. Fuller, junior, 6'3", 200 pounds. Big defensive end. Overall, the Cougars have some size to them. Hochberg. 2nd and 5, throws. Armand Saison cannot hang on off his fingertips and is going to bring up 3rd and 5 for El Segundo. I mentioned Armand Saison is the leading receiver with 17 coming into tonight's game. 17 catches for 139 yards. That was James Pearson. Now we'll see if one of these receivers step up tonight. Here's a quick throw. Scott Melton, he's got space, he's got room, he's got a first down, and a whole lot more. Right on cue, as I said, which one of these receivers is going to step up for the injured James Pearson? Scott Melton comes up big for the Eagles. Under 7 minutes to play here in the first. Big first down by El Segundo. They're all the way down at the Cougars' 19-yard line. That's where Hochberg will take over. Out of the shotgun, they go quick. The defense was not ready for this one. Bayas in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles! Luis Bayas, who's taken over for the injured James Pearson, caught the defense sleeping there and walked it in the end zone. Beautiful throw by Hochberg and a beautiful catch and finish by Luis Bayas. Here's the point after by Armand Saison, and it is good, and the Eagles lead 7-0. El Segundo went quick there. The defense was not ready. And they took advantage of them, striking first in their second offensive possession. We should say it was the interception that started it all by Kyle Myers, and then the touchdown by Luis Bayas. Here's Hurtado with the kick. Stays on the turf. The Cougars pick it up. That's Fuller for a short return. A little bit of a scuffle here. I mentioned these two schools, every time they get together, there is a rivalry there for sure. The Ocean League being so tough and so competitive, every game matters from this point on. .6:26 to play here in the first. 7-0 El Segundo. And the second time up for senior quarterback Tyree Davis. Sharif Sutton behind him at tailback. Again, 4 receivers set out of the shotgun. They haven't really changed the formation tonight. He throws incomplete. El Segundo, Kyle Myers was the closest to the ball. A miscommunication there by Davis and his receivers. Interesting to see the Cougars have been going with this 4 receiver set and 1 tailback behind Davis the whole game so far. They haven't switched up their play calling really. Again, same formation, 2 receivers on either side. Second and 10 for Davis. Quick pitch and swallowed up instantly. Jackson Ross with a tackle for loss. Jonathan Smith, the ball carrier, he went nowhere. This Eagles defense is keeping up the aggression, coached by Coach Wagner. And this defense was a big part of the win last week against South Torrance. Held them to just 3 points here at home. Third and 17 coming up for the Cougars. Now they switch it up. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Davis goes up top. Could have been a highlight catch, but he was out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 4th down for the Hawthorne Cougars. There's a flag that came in. Doesn't seem like it's going to impact that play as both teams are switching out their squads. Nonetheless, here to go, 4th and 17. The Cougars will punt. Freilich and Meyer back to receive for El Segundo. Brian Navarez, the punter. A low punt past the 40. And looks like that's where it will be down. Right at about the 36-yard line. The 3rd offensive drive coming up for the El Segundo Eagles. Their first was not a good one. Lots of penalties in that one, 2 big ones. They punted the ball away. Their next time up, following an interception by Kyle Myers, Hochberg connected Luis Beas for a touchdown. Let's see what they do their 3rd time up. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Man in motion, that was Freilich. He'll be the ball carrier. He runs it through. He's got enough for a 1st down.
The ball carrier is down and bounds by number 2, Browning.
Or does he? They actually mark him out of bounds, about 2 yards shy. Last year against the Cougars, Freilich only had 1 carry for 4 yards. Here's Freilich again, stiff arms another defender, and he's definitely got more than 4 yards this game so far, and he's got himself a 1st down. Hochberg under center this time. Armand Saison slicing through the defense. Saison lowers his shoulder. There's a flag in the backfield. Looks like a holding call. A holding call on the Eagles. I heard the official scream out 67. That's Justin Delgado, who was called for the hold. 4:18 left here in the 1st quarter. An exciting 1st quarter. So far, all the home games, the 1st quarter has been explosive. Lots of big plays, lots of action. We'll be back here at Hazeltine Field for 2 more games. Hochberg, play action, rolls, pressure in front of him, dodges one, but cannot get away from the Cougars. Jacob McMiller and Matthew Gonzalez on that sack. Second and very long coming up for the young sophomore quarterback. Clock is rolling at 3:30 and counting. 2nd and 24, they mark it from the Eagles' 42-yard line. Here's Huckberg, man in motion, that's Freilich. The blitz is coming. Freilich gets it away quickly. That's Freilich with the reception. And he's got a first down and a whole lot more. Freilich almost in the end zone. A few yards shy, but what a catch and run by James Freilich. Said 1 carry and 4 yards for Freilich last year against the Cougars. He has definitely surpassed those numbers so far tonight. Here's Huckberg under center. Armand Saison, the ball carrier. He's got space. And they bring him down about a half a yard away from a score. Second and goal coming up for El Segundo. Saison behind Huckberg. And Coach Shevlin takes a timeout. First timeout taken by the Eagles. They have a second and goal, about a yard, about half a yard or so, maybe a little more from the end zone. We'll see who takes it. Huckberg had a rushing touchdown last week. Freilich had one as well. Armand Saison also ran it in for a score. Last play they had Matthew Hickenbottom as well in the backfield before they called the timeout. So let's see what formation they drew up during that break. So second and goal. They go with just Armand Saison in the backfield. Huckberg keeps it himself, quarterback sneak in the end zone, touchdown, Eagles. .205 here in the first quarter. Armand Saison looking to add one more point to the lead. He misses it, and the Eagles will lead the Cougars 13-0. That was the James Freilich drive that was topped off by Connor Huckberg. There's Hurtada. And this one, a strong kick all the way to the back of the end zone. The Eagles' offense has been getting better by each drive, where on the other side, the Cougars' offense hasn't really moved the ball at all. First and 10 at their own 20. That's where Tyree Davis will start this drive for his team. bunch receiver formation, 2 again on each side. Bunched up, kind of running back to his right. Quick toss. Robert Sanchez. And Sanchez brought down by Justin Gill. A flag did come in there by the 20. A lot of penalties here early on in this game. 1:55 remaining in the first quarter. The official turned the other way. It's a push on the Cougars. The cameras are this way. So that moves Hawthorne all the way to the 15-yard line. First and 15 at the 15-yard line for Hawthorne. Davis with a man in motion. The Eagles blitz. Got it away quickly. It goes nowhere. Houston with the catch. Brought down quickly by Jackson Ross. Roll out by Davis on second down. Looking to throw, does. It's caught, but he's brought down instantly. That was Sanchez again on the catch. And David Madrid with a quick tackle.
On the catch, David Madrid on the tackle.
30 seconds and counting here in the first. 3rd and 7. And that's going to get Hurtado. Give him 5 more yards. It'll be 3rd and 2. Seconds. See if the Cougars get a playoff here. We're at 12 seconds in the first. And a timeout taken by the Hawthorne Cougars with 6 seconds left in the first quarter. An interesting call by Coach Henderson. So they burned 1 timeout. They were going to have a timeout here with 6 seconds. At the end of the first quarter, they were going to have a break to talk about it. But it looks like on this 3rd and 2, they want to, I guess, try to get it before the end of the quarter. There's no real benefit there. But nonetheless, here we go. Both teams getting set to line up. Quick toss is read well by the defense led by Hurtado. And a loss on that play. And that will be the end of the first quarter. The Eagles lead 13-0 over Hawthorne after 1 quarter of football. So an interesting call by Coach Henderson on that timeout, but perhaps he didn't like what he saw in the formation and he switched it up. There's a loss of 3. It'll be 4th and 5 coming up from their own 25-yard line. Packed house here tonight. Once again, we had a beautiful sunset before the start of the game. And a perfect night for football. As we are already in October, which is unbelievable. And we are already almost about halfway through the season. Only 2 more home games. Culver City and Santa Monica, the 2 remaining home games here at Hazeltine Field. Those should be some good ones in the Ocean League, and the Eagles seem like they get better and better each week. Cougars will punt on 4th and 5. A fair catch called by Kyle Myers. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 38-yard line. For the 4th offensive drive by El Segundo. Here's Huckberg, play action. Quick throw, Scott Melton, catch, and a 1st down. Melton, who had 10 receptions, 194 yards coming into tonight's game. He was 3rd on the reception list on the team, behind James Pearson, who we mentioned is out for the rest of the season. But he does lead the team with 3 receiving touchdowns. He had a big catch and run early in the 1st quarter. There's a play action. Oh, handed off to Armand Saison, pardon me. And he goes right up the middle. Gain of 3, it'll be 2nd and 7. Officials timeout here. Something wrong with the equipment. Number 15, Joseph Eby. Brian Navarez comes in for Eby. And here we go. 2nd and 7. Huckberg throws, connects. Matthew Higginbotham. 1st down, Eagles again. Connor Huckberg is looking real good and feels more comfortable each drive. He wasn't the starting quarterback when the season started. It was Nick Villa. I talked to Coach Shevlin about the switch, and he just felt that Villa was more valuable on defense, and he made the switch to the young quarterback, Connor Huckberg, and he's been playing terrific so far. He also said Nick Villa took the news well. As Armand Saison right up the middle. Here's a flag. Going back to that, Villa has been tremendous, Coach Shevlin said, in his leadership and helping Connor out with whatever he needed. And Villa's played terrific on defense so far this season. The officials discussed this penalty. The Eagles already moving back. Penalty goes against El Segundo. A holding call on the Eagles. It'll be 2nd and 16. First and 16. Quick dump off to Freilich. He's got room. Stiffs arm. Freilich! Could he go? Swoosh inside. James Freilich. Touchdown! Freilich wasn't a big part in the matchup last year against these two schools. He is a huge part of this year's game. What a play there. Oh, Eagles looked like a bad play there. Could have been worse. They're just gonna wave that one off. And the Eagles lead 19-0 with 9:36 here in the second quarter. Coach Shevlin has talked to me a few times about the special teams on the squad. And that's one area that they need to practice a little bit more. See Coach Wagner firing up the team on the sidelines. Justin Gill is definitely fired up. Here's Hurtado. Oh, a mishandle by the Cougars. Doesn't really affect it, besides a short return by Jonathan Smith. .9:30 here in the second quarter. That's where the clock stops. 19-0, the Eagles over the Cougars in the first league game of the season. We all thought this game would be close. I think not a lot of people thought the Eagles would be up by this much this early. It's been all El Segundo so far. Here's Davis, 1st and 10. Quick handoff to Smith, and he goes nowhere. Jose Hurtado and David Madrid there to the stop. Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13.
At the Cougar 15-yard line.
Low snap. Davis throws, has a catch. Kendall Burrell Jr. with the grab. Pushed out of bounds by Carl Myers.
Pass contact Kendall Burrell. Ran out of bounds by Kyle Myers. And another flag on the play. This one's against the Eagles.
They call a penalty on El Segundo, but I didn't see the flag. Regardless, it's a first down for the Hawthorne Cougars. Quick handoff again. No, play action. Keeper fooled me. Tyree Davis for the quarterback keeper. Another first down by Hawthorne. First time in the game that the Cougars have gotten consecutive first downs. First time in the game in a drive they've gotten 2 first downs. Davis under center this time. Handoff again to Jonathan Smith. Flags come in. Multiple flags. .7:39 on the game clock. Let's see what all this laundry is about here.
Number 26,
Face mask called on the Eagles. Automatic first down. So the 3rd consecutive first down for the Cougars on this drive. That's the most first downs so far that they've gotten in this game. That was a big one though. That moves them into Eagle territory at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for Tyree Davis. Goes back to the shotgun. Play action, pressure for Davis. Loses one defender, and Madrid brings them down. I'm sorry, Jose Hurtado. Hurtado got a hold of the ankle and did not let go. It was 4, not 44. And a loss of 5, 2nd and 15 coming up for the Cougars. That took them back past the 50 at their own 48-yard line, and a timeout taken by the Hawthorne Cougars. 6:51 remaining in the second quarter. 19-0 your score. The Eagles leading the Hawthorne Cougars, but the Cougars have life thanks to 3 big penalties by the El Segundo Eagles that's given them 3 first downs. Hawthorne has never won 2 games in a row against the Eagles. Like I mentioned, they did beat El Segundo last year at Hawthorne 41-28. El Segundo beat Hawthorne in 2017. They beat them in 2016. The Cougars beat the Eagles in 2015, 23-14. And in 2014, El Segundo defeated Hawthorne big, 67-21. That was here at Hazeltine Field. It's always a good game. It's always a heated game when these 2 squads meet up. And Hawthorne, a program that years ago went winless for 4 straight seasons. Oh, intercepted, Kyle Myers again. Interception and a touchdown. Flags coming in. This will be after the play for celebration, most likely. But wow, what a play. Kyle Myers, this was deja vu. We saw the same play on the other side. The pass that went off the hands of Kendall Burnell Jr. and into the hands of Kyle Myers. This time he took it all the way for a touchdown. So it goes against El Segundo.
Personal foul against the Eagles. If you're counting, that's the 11th penalty of the first half.
Scratch all that excitement. Rewind it. Interception stands. Touchdown does not. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. And here's whistles again. Nonetheless, a beautiful play by Kyle Myers, who has great vision and great speed. This one goes against the Eagles once again. Gerard Blanco gets called. Same play, same result. You gotta think Kendall Burrell Jr. has to be looking at himself now. 2 passes he could not bring in and goes off of his hands into the hands of the defender, Kyle Myers, and 2 turnovers now by the Cougars. 1st and 15. Play action, throw for Scott Melton, nice catch, and brought down by 2 Cougars. Brockton Browning and Corey Carroll assisting each other with the tackle.
Pick up 13 on the play, 2nd and 2.
.608, and the clock keeps rolling here in the 2nd quarter, 19-0. Two-back set for Hochberg. Armand Saison, the carrier. Short gain, but effective enough for an Eagles 1st down. Clock keeps going. Eagles have the ball at the 14-yard line.
Eagles have a 1st and 10 at the Cougar 14-yard line.
Hochberg play action again. Nice coverage by Blanco. So Bayas could not bring that in. Crowd did not like the no call there, but great job by Gerald Blanco picking up the blitz. Big number 77, who thought he was never going to play football again back in December. So happy to be on the field and be with his teammates. When we talked in the offseason, he's just excited and trying to take it all in one last time his senior year. He's had a good season up front. Here's Hochberg, quick dump off to Armand Saison. He's got blockers and he trips forward. Under 5 minutes to play. Gain of about 2 by Saison. I feel like he's waiting just to explode. So far, he's been contained pretty well. It's been other guys. Well, I said early on that Armand Saison's going to need some help tonight, and guys have stepped up. Freilich, Hochberg, Scott Melton, Luis Bayas. It's been a team effort so far, and especially this El Segundo defense. Here's Hochberg on the run. Freilich catches it short of a 1st down. A little over 4 minutes now. The clock is rolling. 4th and 5 from the 9. Five yards to go for a first down, 10 to go, or 9 officially to go for a score. Hochberg out of the shotgun. Has time. Throws, oh, just inches away from James Freilich. That'll be a turnover on downs and Cougars ball. .336 remaining here in the second. Before we hit the locker rooms for halftime, we'll see if Tyree Davis and the Cougars can muster up something. Down 19. Hawthorne will get the ball back to start the third quarter. Blitz. Big throw. Almost a catch. Devon Houston could not hang on. James Freilich on the coverage. Big arm displayed there by Tyree Davis. That was a beautiful throw with pressure in his face. The 6'4", 210 quarterback hasn't aired out too much, but man, can he throw. That stops the clock with 3 minutes and 30 seconds here in the second. 2nd and 10 for Davis. Quick throw and patted down. Jackson Ross. Third and 10 and only used up 4 seconds. Play action. There's a quick throw. A first down by the Cougars. And a few extra yards as well. Devon Houston with a nice catch. Houston refusing to go down, but now at the 32, a little over 3 minutes to play. They do have a timeout with them. Oh, and another dropped pass, this time by Sanchez, Robert Sanchez. These receivers have not helped Tyree Davis tonight, and you can see his frustration right there. It doesn't matter if he has a big arm if no one's there to catch it. Second and 10, low snap. Davis airs it out again. Almost a one-handed catch by Jonathan Smith. Incomplete, brings up third down. 2:51 remaining here in the second quarter. This defense has been so impressive these last 2 weeks. Terrific performance against the Spartans last week. And another one so far. Tyree Davis looking to escape. He does for the time being. Jackson Ross in front of him, and he pushes him out of bounds. Good effort by Tyree Davis, but short of that first down marker. Clock stops at 2:41. It'll be 4th and 8 for the Cougars. Ball's at the 34-yard line. A smart call by Coach Henderson here to punt it away. Another good stance by this Eagles defense. And you never know if things have been going tonight. 2:41 on the clock. The offense will get the ball back. They could extend this 19-point lead. They blitz again and blocked. Eagles have it. Luis Beas comes in and company. Jose Hurtado there to recover. And the Eagles have the ball in Cougar territory at the 25-yard line. Like I said, the way things have been going tonight, this lead could extend big time before the half. Coach Shevlin takes the timeout. 2:35 here in the second quarter. A block punt by the Eagles. It's putting them in great field position for another score before the half. Coach Henderson took over for the Cougars in 2016 after Donald Paysinger retired. And Paysinger, of course, played in the NFL himself. I knew him very well. He also had a son that plays in the NFL. Middle linebacker, drafted by the Giants, and I believe he's with the Dolphins currently. The last time I checked, he was with Miami. There's Freilich. What a move, comes back the other way. Freilich has space, has a block by Armand Saison. James Freilich in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. A video game play by James Freilich, who has his second touchdown of the night. .22 on the clock. Currently 25-0. And it looks like the Eagles are going for two. Hochberg throws. It's complete. And it is good. Armand Saison with a two-point conversion catch. And the Eagles lead 27-0 over the Hawthorne Cougars. What a game so far. What a first half so far by the El Segundo Eagles. As Hurtado booms this one in the end zone. Cougars try to return it, but they blow it dead. 2:22 on the clock. The Cougars came in with a 3-2 record, but not a very strong schedule. 2 weeks ago, they lost that big Mayor's Cup matchup to Lusinger, 38-6. That was a game that's very important around those areas. I covered that particular game in that region for 3 years. Just trying to think. 3 Mayor's Cups I covered between Lusinger and Hawthorne. So a big deal between those two schools, and Lusinger is the trophy's holder for next year. Quick run by the Cougars that gets stuffed immediately by the Eagles. Luis Beas with the tackle. 2:07 and counting. A loss of 1 on that run. Under 2 minutes now. Clock is winding down. For the Eagles, when they go into halftime, they just have to keep this momentum up. They're doing a lot of good things, a few penalties early on, but after that first offensive drive, they cleaned it up, and this defense has kept the momentum. There you see it again on that play. They've kept this momentum for the last 2 weeks. Jose Hurtado led the charge there. Minute 20 and counting. 3rd and 7 coming up for the Hawthorne Cougars. Beas showing blitz. He's coming. Davis trying to run, has some space, loses the ball. El Segundo recovers. Nick Villa with a fumble recovery. And with 54.8 seconds, again, you never know, the 27-point lead might extend. That looked like just the ball slipped out of Davis's hand because no one was really around him. First and 10 at the Cougars' 32-yard line. Hochberg out of the shotgun. He will throw. Why not? James Freilich, one more time in the end zone. Touchdown, El Segundo. That's the 3rd touchdown for James Freilich tonight. I was joking a few seconds ago when I said that with 54 seconds, you don't know what's going to happen. And this lead might extend, and it actually did. Armand Saison's kick is good, and the Eagles lead 34-0. El Segundo is looking like the El Segundo of old so far tonight through these 2 quarters. What a performance overall. And James Freilich, who again only had 1 carry for 4 yards last year against the Hawthorne Cougars, has 3 total touchdowns tonight. And we've only played 2 quarters. Here's Hurtado. Another booming kick. This one returned at the 1. And he just runs into a pile of players. Sharif Sutton returned it at the 20. 37.4 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. What a second quarter it has been from the Eagles. They led 13-0 after the first quarter and now are up 34-0 with 37 seconds left. Low snap by Davis. Sharif runs it. Stiffs arm a defender and gets a Hawthorne Cougars first down. The biggest run of the night by Sharif Sutton. 25 seconds and counting. 24 now. First and 10. Now 20 seconds. Hawthorne not really going with a lot of urgency here. 15 seconds. Davis drops back. He will air this one out in double coverage. It is caught. What a catch. Devon Houston in double coverage, 7 seconds. They got to go quick here. It looks like a timeout was called by the Cougars. With 7 seconds left. Wow, despite being down 34 points, 2 consecutive turnovers, the Cougars are not giving up. Huge play by Devon Houston, the senior receiver. Tyree Davis showing that big arm, and finally someone stepped up to catch it. Tricky pass through double coverage, but it got in there. Now the Cougars have a chance to put some points on the board before they go to the locker rooms. Seven seconds, 1, maybe 2 plays. They're at the 13-yard line. Going again with that 4 receiver set, 2 on each side. Here's Davis, blitz is coming. He throws in the end zone, it's batted down. Nick Villa. 2.9 seconds. So 1 more play for the Cougars before halftime. Here's Davis. He'll try 1 more time. Throws in the end zone. No good, incomplete, intended for Houston. And that will do it. The Eagles will fly into the locker rooms at halftime, leading the Cougars 34-0. Keep it right here on El Segundo TV. We'll be right back with 3rd and 4th quarter action. Welcome back inside Hazeltine Field. For the start of the third quarter between the Eagles and the Cougars, El Segundo leads Hawthorne 34-0 thanks to 3 touchdowns by James Freilich. Offense, defense, and special teams all have clicked here tonight. And on the other side, the Cougars, nothing has seemed to working for the guys in red and white. Here is Hurtado, and we are on our way for the start of the third quarter. Tyree Davis, the senior quarterback, will come on the field for the Cougars and try to get something. The Hawthorne's offense looked good that last drive, seconds left there. They had a few nice plays, moved the ball well. Unfortunately, did not get any points thanks to Nick Villa and company. Let's see what kind of changes they made.
Cougars going to take over on their own 20-yard line.
Quick throw by Davis, a wide open, and caught by Kendall Burrell, who got spear tackled. Jackson Ross.
Tackle by number 7, Kyle Myers.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 coming up for Hawthorne. Hawthorne, of course, beat El Segundo last year. The Eagles trying to get that win back. Here's a keeper by Davis. Has a first down.
Tyree Davis, ball carrier.
Tackled by Julian Rodriguez and Nick Villa. So far, so good for the Cougars on this early drive in the third quarter. As we mentioned earlier, Hawthorne has not beaten El Segundo on 2 consecutive years in a row. In fact, they've only beat El Segundo twice in the last 5 years. First and 10, play action. Davis is swallowed up by the Eagles defense. Luis Beas and Don Robinson. Robinson didn't play last week, but he was a big factor in the first home game here against North Torrance. And looking good tonight as well. Big nose tackle, senior, 6 foot 275. And you have Beas right next to him, 5'10", 180, but very lethal. Here's the throw, almost intercepted. That's Vinny Costa. That brings up 3rd and 15 for the Cougars from their own 35-yard line. And we talked about Davis's arm strength all night long, but it doesn't help if no one's catching the ball for him. And another 4-receiver set by the Cougars. Drop back by Davis. Pressure in front of him. Beas again. Can he bring him down? No, he cannot, but Jackson Ross can. Coach Wagner's defense is aggressive, and they are not afraid to blitz. They bring the heat every single play. They definitely show you what's up. When we talked to Coach Wagner in the offseason. He said the one main difference you'll see from this defense from other defenses in the past is how aggressive we are, how much we're going to blitz, and how much we're going to be in your face. 4th and 27. Wisely punted by the Hawthorne Cougars. This one will get past the 50. And finally down by Trevon Sibley.
Eagles are going to take over on their own 46-yard line.
Sibley, a senior receiver, 6'1", 185, a captain for the Cougars tonight, but hasn't done too much. There's Armand Saison cutting right through, a first down and a whole lot more, tackled forward. The biggest run of the night by Armand Saison. He's finally brought down by Akil Bellard.
Tackle made by number 20. Pete
Bellard, 5'10", 160. Saison, 5'8", 200. He felt in the offseason he's been in the best shape ever when this year started. When we talked at training camp, he felt ready. He said he worked hard in the offseason. Armand Saison did. He told me he trained, he did conditioning, hit the weight room, feels leaner, meaner, and faster. Armand was a big factor in last week's win against the Spartans. His brother, who played here in El Segundo, Darian Saison, is on the coaching staff with Coach Shevlin this year. Both came from Santa Monica a few years back. And you know that last game of the season, Armand Saison and the Eagles host the Vikings right here at Hazeltine Field on senior night. You know that game's going to be special to number 2. First and 10, 8:19 to play in our third quarter. Play action by Huckberg, caught by James Freilich in traffic, and another El Segundo first down.
James Freilich on the reception.
More of a lob there by Connor Huckberg. Nonetheless successful and effective. First and 10 at the 16-yard line. Eagles threatening for another score, up 34-0. Here's Huckberg, handoff to Armand Saison. He turns the burners on. Still on his feet and finally brought down just shy of another Eagles first down. The Cougars, who started 2-0, lost to Lusinger, then won again last week against Glenn High School, have hit a wall here in the first league game of the season in this matchup against the El Segundo Eagles. This is where you really test yourself. Here's Armand Saison. He's swallowed up by the Hawthorne Cougars defense, led by number 15, Joseph Eby. These league games, no matter what you did in the preseason, as it's called, the league games is what it matters and where you kind of see where you stand. You have to beat these teams in your league in order to have a chance at the playoffs. Hawthorne made the playoffs last year, but they lost in the first round to Rio Honda Prep, 52-35. Here's Armand Saison going to the left in the end zone for a score, but a flag came in. Looks like this one will be a holding call on El Segundo. There it is.
It's going to bring up a third.
6:15 and counting here. Third quarter, 34-0. 3rd and 10 from the 16 coming up for Hochberg and company. Scott Melton, short of the first down. Let's see what El Segundo does. Looks like they're switching up to the kicking unit.
Pass completed to Scott Melton. Stop by Devon Houston.
Armand Saison will line up to attempt a field goal
That's going to be a gain of 3.
from the 13-yard line where the ball is placed. The kick will come from the 20-yard line.
Saison is going to attempt a 30-yard field goal.
The kick is good.
Field goal is
Armand Saison with a field goal, and the Eagles lead 37-0. .505 here in the third quarter as the Eagles extended their lead by 3 more, 37-0. Here come the Cougars. Nice hard return by Hawthorne there. Number 24, Sharif Sutton. It looks like we have an Eagle down, Julian Rodriguez. Looks like he's getting up on his own 2 feet. And he'll get some help by Beas and Freilich. Hope he's all right.
Cougars going to take over on their own 25-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and 10.
Here are the Cougars, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. 4:55 here in the third quarter. They're down 37-0 to the Eagles. Double play action, but goes nowhere. Suplex of a tackle by Justin Gill and a few other Eagles there as well, stopping Jonathan Smith from gaining any yards, actually losing one.
Jonathan Smith, the ball carrier.
The Cougars have been rebuilding the last few years. As I mentioned, I think it was in the 90s or late 90s when Hawthorne went winless for 4 straight years, and then Donald Pasinger came into the picture. Big throw, intercepted. Guess who? Kyle Myers, his 3rd interception tonight. A hat trick of interceptions by number 7, Kyle Myers. things go from really bad to really bad for the Hawthorne Cougars. And perhaps another score coming up by the El Segundo Eagles with 4:01 here in the third. Great field position from the Cougars' 12-yard line. Hochberg under center. Armand Saison gets it, has a block in front of him. Armand Saison is in the end zone for a touchdown. El Segundo making it look easy tonight. (43-0). Saison makes it 44-0. El Segundo. This is not the most points that the Eagles have scored against the Cougars. Back in 2014, they put up 67 on Hawthorne, and in 2017, they put up 55. But it is the first time so far. Again, this game is not final, but they've never shut out Hawthorne. And at the end of this quarter, it will be 7 quarters that this defense has only allowed 3 points through 7 quarters. Very impressive. This one on the turf gets past the Cougars in the end zone. And a whistle will blow that play dead. Hawthorne will start at their own 20. Hasn't been all bad for Cougars football. They did have Curtis Conway back in '93, who got drafted by the Bears in the '93 draft, went to USC, played at Hawthorne. He was a wide receiver. And we were talking earlier with our cameraman, Tony Cantillo. He actually played against Curtis Conway back in the day. And that's when Hawthorne was a powerhouse. They did have their struggles. Like I mentioned, Coach Paysinger turned the program around a little bit. And then Derwin Henderson actually, when he took over in 2016, took the Cougars to the playoffs. It was a long time since Hawthorne had seen playoff action, and Coach Henderson got him there. A new quarterback for the Cougars as Jonathan Smith takes the handoff. And at quarterback is Kendall Burrell Jr.
Jonathan Smith, the ball carrier.
Burrell could not hang on to 2 passes tonight that were intercepted by Kyle Myers. It's a deja vu play, sort of freaky here. I guess we are in October, near Halloween. I don't think it's a full moon tonight. I can't see from the booth. But the same play, off the hands of Burrell into the hands of Myers. There's Burrell on the keeper. Running with the ball all the way out like Joey Harrington used to back Detroit Lions. As a Lions fan, every time he ran the ball, I held my breath and closed my eyes.
Kendall Burrell, the ball carrier.
3rd and 9 coming up for Hawthorne.
Tackled by Jackson Ross.
2:38 and counting here in the third quarter, 44-0. No one, I think, expected this from tonight's game. Play action, Davis back at quarterback. He throws it deep. It is caught. Antero Fuller with a huge catch.
Pass complete to number 3, Robert Sanchez.
About a 40-yard catch there from Ontario Fuller, a junior 6'3", 200-pound receiver. Number 9 at the top of your screen. He was a guy at warm-ups that stuck out, being so big. But it's been relatively quiet tonight, besides that big catch right there. 2 minutes and counting here in the third. Davis throws in traffic, intended for Burrell Jr., and he could not hang on. That's been the story all night long for number 11.
Pass intended to Kendall Burrell.
Second and 10 coming up with a minute 53.
Gonna bring it a 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So it looked like the Burrell Jr. quarterback experience didn't last too long. Davis sticking at QB, handing off. Smith has a first down. Smith is looking for the end zone. And Jonathan Smith has himself a rushing touchdown here in the third quarter.
Jonathan Smith with a 41-yard touchdown.
So the scoreless streak and the shutout is ended here with a minute 42 in the third quarter. Two explosive plays by the Cougars. That catch by Ontario Fuller, and then that run by Jonathan Smith. And the Cougars looking to go for 2. Here's Davis in the end zone. It is caught. Oh, he dropped it. My bad. Pardon me. Devon Houston, the intended receiver, could not hang on. The glare off the glass here looked like it was a catch.
James Freilich and Kyle Myers deep to receive.
Eagles defense gave up no touchdowns last week. Here's a touchdown that they give up right now in the third quarter. So Hawthorne will line up to kick here with a minute 39 in the third quarter. Short kick, looking like some sort of onside kick, but recovered by El Segundo.
Eagles are going to recover at their own 45-yard line.
Hawthorne still fighting and still trying to do something in this game despite being down 44-6. Look for mostly run plays here by the Eagles coming up. There's a handoff. James Freilich gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Freilich the ball carrier. Tackled by number 14, Sean Dugan.
About a minute left here in the third quarter. 44-6, a big lead. The Eagles have led all game long. They have not taken their foot off the gas pedal here tonight. A shocking win. On the way to a win. Not over yet, but almost. Armand Saison with the catch, the first down, and a stiff arm. Unfazed. Sean Hogan, the recipient of that stiff arm. And that's going to do it at the end of the third quarter. Eagles have the football, and they have a 44-6 lead over the Hawthorne Cougars. There should be a running clock in the fourth. What a performance all around by the Eagles. And this time we should give a shout out to the Segundo cheer team who dedicated their halftime dance performance to October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A great job done by the cheerleaders for a great cause. Here come the Eagles on the field for the fourth and final quarter, up 44-6. What a performance by El Segundo to start league play against Hawthorne. It only gets tougher from here, but a great showing in a much needed game. I think a game like this is what El Segundo needed, what the doctor ordered for these Eagles. Here's Saison running hard again, this time to the right side, and he goes out of bounds. Gain of about 5 on the run.
Pick up a 5 on the play. It's going to be second and 5.
Clock keeps going. Second and 5. And some flags come in. False start on the offense.
False start on El Segundo Eagles.
So Eagles lose those 5 yards that they gained thanks to Armand Saison. The second and 10. Running clock in effect. A little over 10 minutes here in the fourth. Run right up the middle. Gain of 1.
Brought down by Jordan Foster King.
Right now, you just want to
Intend over out.
run the ball, move the ball forward, waste as much clock as possible, and go home with a victory. Quick throw, James Freilich makes another play out of nothing.
Driven out of bounds by number 11, Kendall Burrell.
Will be about 4 yards shy of the first down. I'll bring up fourth down. Under 9 minutes now in the fourth. Fourth and short. Here's Armand Saison. And he just goes down. No gain on the play.
Brought down by number 19, Ronnie Hawthorne.
Turnover on downs, and we get to see the El Segundo defense one more time with 8 minutes and 30 seconds here. For the Cougars, down 44-6. This is more practice for you. Just get some more feels out there, game time feels. Run some real live plays. They go with a run with Jonathan Smith, who had the only Hawthorne touchdown last drive up. Big catch as Devon Houston. Another Cougars first down. They're moving the ball a little bit here, but a little bit too late in the story. El Segundo has swapped out some of their defensive starters. As I take a glance here in the guys in blue. Villa and Myers still in there from the starters. There's Myers, almost had his fourth interception. That would have been great, right on cue. Still a good night though with 3 INTs. And your team's 6 minutes away from the win. Second and 10 for Davis. Hand off to Smith. He goes off around the edge and has another first down. You might be thinking, where was this offense in the first 3 quarters? Well, like I said, different defensive personnel by the Eagles now than they had before. First and 10 for Davis. Throw, wide open receiver. I believe that's Houston with another catch. It is. A little over 5 minutes now remaining in the game. First and 10 for Tyree Davis. Play action, Smith gets it. Not a play action, just a handoff. Good old school-fashioned handoff. That's play action. Davis rolls out, calling for a receiver, but just keeps it himself and runs out of bounds.
Tyree Davis, the ball carrier, ran out of bounds by Kyle Prime.
Gain of a few by Davis. Brings up 3rd and 5. 4 minutes remaining in the game.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Here's Tyree Davis looking for Houston again, double covered. As flags come in. Madrid and I believe Jackson Ross. One of them gets called for pass interference. So not Jackson Ross, that's 16. Leo Matsuka. First and goal. Just shy of a touchdown. Sharif Sutton this time, the ball carrier for the Cougars.
Sharif Sutton, the ball carrier.
Under 3 minutes now. Cougars looking for one more score here before this one's all set, just to add to the stat sheet. A timeout called by Coach Henderson.
Timeout charge to the Cougars. Their first timeout of the second half.
For the Cougars, they go back to Hawthorne for the next 2 weeks. They host Santa Monica and Beverly Hills before going on the road to Culver City. For the Segundo Eagles, they go on the road next week to Beverly Hills, back here for Culver City, and then on the road to Lawndale before coming back for Santa Monica to end the regular season here at Hazeltine Field. So it only gets tougher for both schools, especially for the Eagles. Next week's game against Beverly Hills should be a game where the Eagles are favored, but then Culver City and Lawndale, followed by Santa Monica. 3 tough matchups to finish off the regular season as the Eagles will push for a playoff run. 2:41. Both teams are back and lined up. 2nd and goal for Davis. Quick throw in the end zone. Good coverage by Matsuoka.
Pass intended to number 3, Robert Sanchez.
Every game is so crucial in league play, especially in the Ocean League. So much good competition, so many good teams. And the Eagles looks like they're hitting their stride at the perfect time. The season started off a little bit rough, losing to the Peninsula Panthers. Actually going 0-3 to start the season. But right now they're looking good. On the verge of winning 3 in a row. 1 minute and 51 seconds away. Smith gets stuffed short of a touchdown on 3rd down.
Jonathan Smith, stopped by number 76, Aiden Payton.
Another timeout taken by Coach Henderson. 4th and goal coming up for the Cougars. They want to talk it over here. 119, 44-6 is your score. Little over a minute from another El Segundo victory, making it 3 in a row for the Eagles. Eagles already and lined up, ready to rock and roll. Here come the Cougars. A minute 19 takes us home. Fourth and goal for Tyree Davis. Play action, throws, and patted down. Turnover on downs. Good stand by the Eagles defense one more time, and they are seconds away from their first league victory of the season and their 3rd win in a row. Impressive to say after starting 0-3. Like I'm saying, the Eagles are getting hot at the right time. They'll face the Normans next, followed by Culver City and the Redbirds, the Lawndale Cardinals. And a standing ovation here as the Eagles walk off the field and line up to shake hands with the Cougars. 10 seconds left. This one is almost official. There it is, the final whistle. The Eagles win 3 in a row, defeating the Hawthorne Cougars by a final score of 44-6. El Segundo advances to 3-3, 1-0 in Ocean League play, while the Cougars drop to 3-3 as well, 0-1 in the Ocean League. A great game, a great team effort as the Eagles defeat the Cougars 44-6. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Keep it right here on El Segundo TV. Coach James Freilich with 3 touchdowns, Kyle Myers 3 interceptions, and what a game by your young quarterback.
Yeah, you know, that was, I was telling the kids after the game, that was probably our most complete game of the year. I just thought everything clicked. After our first series of offense, we were a little nervous and jittery. I think we settled down. Offense played great. Defense had another outstanding night. Kyle Myers, who's been so close on so many picks this year, gets 3 with a chance to get 4, and does a great job returning the ball to give us good field position. And James Freilich in the last couple of weeks has gotten healthy, and you're seeing what he's capable to do. He's a game-changing athlete when he's playing offense and defense for us, and that showed tonight.
You have won 3 in a row now after starting 0-3. How big of a statement was a game like this starting league play?
Well, you know, Hawthorne, I mean, they're good. They're well coached. They got some great athletes over there. We didn't see this coming in as a game that ended up the way it did. We thought it was going to be really close. And if we could contain them, we might have a shot. So, it's total credit to the kids and how they prepared this week, how Coach Wagner put in the defensive game plan, and how the offense played. Connor Hochberg is playing really, really well at quarterback, making good decisions, good throws, and we're executing. So, not that it was totally unexpected, but to get back to 3-3 after an 0-3 start is salvation for me. I can sleep a little bit easier right now.
Coach, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Thanks,
Congratulations. Enjoy. Thank you. Bye-bye. And the Eagles win their 3rd in a row, defeating the Cougars 44-6. An impressive team victory by the El Segundo Eagles. 3 interceptions by Kyle Myers, 3 touchdowns by James Freilich, and what a game by the sophomore quarterback, Connor Hochberg. A terrific effort by everyone involved, and we thank you for joining us. From everyone at Segundo TV, I'm Miguel DeLeo saying good night.